Did you know that if the Earth were a school classroom globe, the depth of the ocean would be less than the thickness of the varnish? Now that's a deep thought to start with. Today, we're diving into the intriguing world of oceanography. It's a science that not only explores the deep blue, but also impacts our daily lives in ways you might not even realize. So, if you've ever wondered why the ocean is salty, or why your holiday photos at the beach look so darn good, stick around. Ever wonder what the ocean floor looks like? No, it's not just a massive swimming pool. Let's dive into the mysteries of the deep, and uncover the intricate topography of the world beneath the waves. Imagine the ocean floor as a sprawling underwater metropolis, complete with skyscrapers, valleys, and vast plains. This isn't a sci-fi movie, ladies and gentlemen, this is our very own Earth. Starting off with the Atlantic Ocean, the most defining feature is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, an underwater mountain range that makes Mount Everest look like a molehill. It stretches all the way from the Arctic Ocean to the Southern Ocean. Now picture this, you're hiking along this ridge, and you stumble upon the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the world's oceans in the Pacific. It's so deep that if you placed Mount Everest at its bottom, the peak would still be submerged. Talk about a serious case of vertigo. Moving on to the Indian Ocean, it's not all about depth. This ocean boasts the longest submarine mountain range, known as the 90 East Ridge. It's like the Great Wall of China, but underwater, and even longer. This ridge runs north-south, cutting across the entire eastern part of the Indian Ocean. If you were to walk its length, you'd need an enormous amount of underwater snacks. And let's not forget the vast plains of the Pacific Ocean, the largest and deepest ocean basin in the world. Its floor is like the Sahara Desert, but instead of scorching sand dunes, you have miles and miles of flat, muddy abyssal plain. It's like the ultimate flatland, only wetter, and with a whole lot more fish. These intricate topographies, believe it or not, are just below us, beneath the surface of the water we so casually dip our toes into during beach vacations. They're home to a myriad of marine life and hold secrets we're just beginning to understand. So next time you're out for a swim, remember you're splashing around above underwater mountains and valleys. Ever tasted the ocean? Salty, right? But why? Just as a bowl of soup would be incomplete without a dash of salt, the same applies to our planet's giant bowl of soup, the ocean. The ocean's saltiness, or salinity, is a result of various salts that are dissolved in the water. But unlike your chicken noodle soup, the ocean's recipe calls for a bit more complexity. Let's imagine the ocean as a massive cooking pot on a stove. The heat from the stove is akin to the sun's heat absorbed by the ocean. This heat plays a crucial role in determining the water's temperature. But here's the catch, the ocean's temperature isn't uniform. Picture a soup simmering on a stove, it's hotter at the surface and cooler at the bottom, right? The same happens in the ocean, with warm water near the surface and cooler water in the depths. Now let's talk about the ocean's salt budget. How does the ocean maintain its salinity? Well, it's a constant balancing act. Salts enter the ocean through rivers and underwater volcanic activities, while some are removed by processes like evaporation and sea spray. It's like continuously adding and removing ingredients from our soup to maintain that perfect flavor. So, the next time you dip your toes in the ocean or taste that salty sea spray, remember you're experiencing a small part of a vast, complex system. So, the ocean isn't just salty because it didn't get a Valentine, it's a complex, flavorful soup. The ocean isn't just a pretty face, it's also a treasure trove. It's like an underwater supermarket just waiting to be explored. Let's start with the ocean's biotic resources. Think of these as the ocean's living treasures like the myriad of fish, crustaceans, and mollusks. Not only do they make for a tasty dinner, but they also keep our planet's ecosystem balanced. But it doesn't stop there. Seaweeds and other marine plants are a source of biofuels and are even used in medicines and cosmetics. Now isn't that amazing? Now let's dive deeper and talk about the ocean's mineral resources. Picture a sunken treasure chest, but instead of gold coins, it's filled with sand and gravel which are used in construction. Or imagine a shipwreck carrying a cargo of precious metals like gold, silver, and copper. These essential elements are found in abundance in the ocean's depths. Last but not least, the ocean is a powerhouse of energy. Ever heard of wave and tidal energy? They are renewable energy sources derived from the ocean's natural movements. Oh, and let's not forget about offshore wind farms that harness the power of the wind to generate electricity. In conclusion, our oceans are much more than just bodies of water. They are a source of food, a provider of raw materials, and a generator of energy. So, the next time someone says, "There are plenty more fish in the sea," Remember, there's also oil, gold, and even potential energy sources. The ocean has its ups and downs, quite literally. Now, let's dive into the fun part of our oceanic journey: waves, currents, and tides. Picture these as the ocean's mood swings. Some days the ocean is calm, like a Zen master meditating, with barely a ripple disrupting its serene surface. These are the days when the waves are mellow, gently lapping against the shore. But then, there are days when our ocean, like a grumpy teenager, becomes all stormy and turbulent. Waves rise and fall with a temper, crashing onto the shores with a roar. These waves are born when the wind skates across the ocean surface, transferring its energy and creating these undulating water mountains. Now let's chat about currents, the ocean's personal conveyor belts. They're like the ocean's version of a busy airport terminal, constantly moving and directing traffic. But instead of suitcases and passengers, it's heat, nutrients, and sometimes even marine life being shuttled around. Driven by winds, temperature, and salinity differences, these currents play a crucial role in regulating our planet's climate. And finally, we have the tides, nature's own rhythm and blues. These are the ocean's daily rise and fall, its own version of a deep yoga breath in and out. The gravitational pull of the moon and the sun causes the water to bulge out in specific areas, creating high tides. When the water recedes, we get low tides. It's like the ocean's own cosmic dance with the universe. So you see, the ocean's moods are not arbitrary. They're influenced by external factors like wind, temperature, and even celestial bodies. And these moods, in the form of waves, currents, and tides, have a significant impact on marine life and our planet's climate. So the ocean's not just waving at you, it's also trying to pull you in with its charming currents and tides. Even the ocean gets sick sometimes. Imagine the ocean as a patient in for a regular checkup. Now let's take a look at the chart. First up, we have the coral reefs, often known as the rainforests of the sea. But they've been looking a bit pale lately. This is called coral bleaching, and it's a real concern. When corals get stressed, they evict their colorful algae roommates, leaving them bone white and vulnerable. This is a symptom of a warming ocean, a fever if you will. Next on our chart we see that the ocean has been growing. Sea levels are rising due to melting ice caps and thermal expansion. It's like the ocean is experiencing a growth spurt. But this one's not a sign of good health. Let's turn to the law of the sea now, which is kind of like the ocean's medical insurance. It's a treaty that helps manage how we use and protect the ocean, but there are lapses in coverage and some areas are still at risk. Finally, we have marine pollution. This is like the ocean's chronic condition, with plastic being the main culprit. It's as if the ocean has been ingesting junk food for decades and it's taking a toll. So while the ocean might be breathtakingly beautiful, it also needs our help to stay healthy. Let's all pitch in and give it the care it deserves. So, that was quite a deep dive, wasn't it? We've journeyed from the intriguing contours of the ocean floor in the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans, to the fluctuating temperatures and salinity levels that make up the ocean's soup. We've explored the ocean's generous gifts from biotic to mineral and energy resources, and navigated the unpredictable waves, currents, and tides that define the ocean's mood swings. We've surveyed the vibrant coral reefs, and sadly they're bleaching. We've pondered over the rising and falling sea levels and delved into the laws of the sea and the pressing issue of marine pollution. It's an intricate, complex, and fascinating world beneath the waves, and we've only just skimmed the surface. Our oceans are a whirlpool of wonders and mysteries, teeming with life and resources, and yet threatened by the very life that depends on it. So the next time you dip your toes in the ocean, remember, you're stepping into a world more fascinating than any science fiction story. That's all for today's deep dive into the ocean. We want to thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the depths of the ocean. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. If you did, don't forget to show your love by hitting that like button. Your comments matter to us, so share your thoughts, questions, or any oceanic facts you know in the comment section below. And if you found this video enlightening, don't hesitate to share it with your friends. Who knows, you might inspire the next great ocean explorer. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating dives into the world around us. We have a lot more to explore together, so let's keep our curiosity alive. Until next time, keep exploring. Remember, every ripple in the ocean is a story waiting to be told. Dive in, the ocean of knowledge awaits you.